Hello, everyone. Greetings, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you for joining me for practice today. So we've been doing some chair yoga this week, and we'll conclude today's week with a level 2 chair yoga vinyasa focused class. So it's a level 2 chair yoga class. It's all relative, all these different levels. We started with fundamental on Monday, level 1 on Wednesday, and we're concluding with level 2. So it's still accessible. That's why we've been doing our chair yoga this week. The accessibility allows us, if we have either more limited mobility, if we want to just give ourselves a rest, maybe in our wrists or our arms, or if maybe you're recovering from an injury, chair yoga can be an option for you. So in our level 2 class here, will be 60 minutes, and I'll still provide some different modifications along the way. Now, as far as getting the right chair for you, make sure you have a nice sturdy chair, ideally without any armrests here, so no armrests ideally. And as far as an exercise ball, we're not going to use that. You can adapt some of these postures that you become more familiar with to do on the ball, make it a little bit more fun with balancing. We're not doing that today though. And a chair with wheels and spinning is just not going to work today. It's just going to be too unstable. So make sure you find yourself a nice chair. I'm just going to place these off to the side while you do that. And we'll start to get settled in for practice. The only other thing you may want to have is a block or a box nearby. Sometimes that can help just support yourself in a couple of different poses that we're doing, but you may not end up needing it, so don't worry about it too much. All right, so just take a minute to get nice and settled in your chair here. Have your feet rooted on the mat, heels behind those center toes. Just place your palms on top of your thighs. I was thinking level 2, how are we going to make a chair yoga class a level 2 class? Well, there is a breath technique, a pranayama that I've wanted to teach that's a little bit more advanced. So I'll walk you through that as we begin class today. It will be a little bit longer and it does involve a longer hold of the breath in. So I would advise if you are pregnant or trying to become pregnant, I would advise you just to breathe normally during this practice. So it's the first 5 minutes. We're going to start with some breath work. So just make sure you get nice and settled in. Let me go ahead and take these off. You don't need those anymore. All right, so just get settled in. Just take some nice deep breaths. Settle into your chair here. You can release your back onto the back of the chair so you're nice and comfortable. When we move through these breathing techniques, your eyes can soften or your gaze can close completely. And this pranayama involves the exhale breath to be longer, twice as long as the inhale breath. So a lot of times, if you just breathe normally and you just take a quick notice of your breath, most likely your inhale lasts longer than your exhale. So we're going to reverse that and we're going to count down. I'll count down as we inhale and I'll count down as we exhale. So feel free to stay along with me. We'll progressively have longer inhales and exhales. If I go farther than what you're comfortable with, just stay on the pace that works for you. Just going to ramp things up over the time that we'll allot to this. And at the completion of it, we'll have a long hold in of our inhale. You might be surprised how much you can hold your breath at the end of this. So we'll give it a try. It's something a little different, but it should be fun. Okay, so be nice and settled here. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And as we inhale and exhale, make sure you're just inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. So let's begin. Inhale through the nose, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold the breath in. Keep holding the breath in. Halfway there. Ten more seconds. Gently release. Just return to normal breathing. If your eyes were closed or softened, you can gently blink your eyes open. Just take a moment to come back to normal breathing. Let me know. Give me some feedback after class and let me know how that went for you. Okay, so we've warmed up our lungs and our breath. Now it's time to continue warming up the body here. Okay, so let's release our arms down to the side. Have Coney underneath me. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, palms out and arms down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, palms out and down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, palms out and down. Inhale, arms out overhead. Exhale, palms out and down. Okay, let's come into our cow and our cat pose. Oh my gosh. uh, just actually place your hands on top of your thighs. So cow cat. Inhale as we send our navel forward. Send the heart up. Gently drop the head back. Exhale, round the back. Shoulders separate. Let the head hang heavy. Reversing that. Inhale, navel forward, heart lifts, head drops back. Exhale, round the back. Shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. Do 2 more each way. Try to take it nice and slow. Starting the movement from your low back. Coming up through the middle with the head the last thing to move. And after you finish your last one, just meet me back in a nice neutral spine. Release the arms down to the sides again. Bring them up to shoulder height. Bend the elbows. Draw the backs of the shoulder blades in towards the top of the back, towards each other. Adding a twist. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale, twist to your right. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. 2 more times each way. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. 1 more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Keep drawing the tops of the shoulder blades together. And exhale, left. Come back to center. Release the arms down to the sides. Just grab onto the bottom of your chair with both arms. We'll add our side leans here. So again, by keeping the left arm where it is, inhaling the right arm out and up overhead, and exhale, switch. Right arm down, left arm up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale as you lengthen, right arm overhead. Exhale to center. Inhale, lengthen, left arm over. Keep going on your breath. Do a couple more times each side. Try to keep your feet hips width distance, your feet rooting down. Just take it nice and slow. And come back to center. We'll add our Garudasana arms. So let's extend both arms out to the side. Exhale, let's hug yourself, right arm on the bottom. Option 1, hug yourself, elbows on top. Option 2, bend at the elbows, backs of the hands together. Option 3, palms come together. You can draw those backs of the shoulder blades together as you lift those elbows up. You can add a slight back bend here if you'd like, raising your heart up towards the sky. Staying for a breath. Exhale, release back down to center. Both arms out to the side, palms forward, and we'll switch. So hug yourself, this time left arm on the bottom, or switch whichever way you had. Then you have first option, hug yourself. Second option, backs of the hands together. Or third option, palms together. Draw the back of the shoulder blades, broaden the collarbones. Lift the elbows up. Maybe add a slight back bend. Just staying for 1 more breath. And exhale, gently releasing back to center. Release the arms down to the sides. All right, come forward on the top of your chair. I like working out the tops of the toes this way. So lift your right foot up, send it underneath you, bring the tops of the toes to the ground. You'll gently press the tops of the toes down. We're stretching the top of that ankle and those toes as well. The toes always seem to crack a little bit here. Just be gentle, stay away from pain, but you can just begin adding a little bit more pressure as time goes on. We'll be here just for another breath. And exhale. So release that right foot, lift that left foot up, release it underneath you, top of that left foot comes to the ground. Again, just gently adding little bits of pressure. Stretching out the top of the ankle and those toes. As you press your foot down, try to separate your toes as well. Sometimes that helps to loosen them up a bit. Stay for one more breath. And exhale. All right, staying still on the top of your chair or towards the front of your chair. Extend both legs out in front of you. Flex your toes so that the toes come back towards your feet, towards your head, but keep your heels on the mat. Make sure you're on the edge of your chair, but you're still nice and sturdy. And draw the right knee in towards your chest. Give it a nice little squeeze. And exhale, we'll switch. So release the right arm down, left knee in towards your chest. Gentle squeeze here. And release it down. This time extend both arms overhead. And same thing. Right leg in toward your chest. And release. Switching to the left. And release. Keep flexing both toes. We'll do 2 more times each leg. Keeping both arms up. Wrapping those pinkies towards each other. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. After you finish that last one, gently release. Stay towards the top of your chair. Bring your heels back underneath your knees. We'll begin warming up the rest of the body with some sun salutations here. Okay, so release the arms down to the sides, palms face forward. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. Make sure your knees and feet are still hips width distance. We'll inhale the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. We'll repeat that. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. You can come up off your chair if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift, or just stay on your chair. And exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit back, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. One more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Again, you can come up off the ground or stay down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms out and up overhead. Everyone sit. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. So now we'll add on to that. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. You can come up off your feet if you'd like. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Now inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms out and down to the sides. So if you're still in your chair, grab underneath the chair just as we did before. Roll the shoulders up and back and start to draw your chest up toward the sky. Add your back bend. If you're standing here, I'll just turn this way. Release the backs of your hands to your low back, fingers down. Roll the shoulders up and back, and then add your standing back bend here. Pressing down. Just stay for one more breath, whichever version you're in. And exhale, gently release. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit down. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. So one more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. You can come up off your chair as you inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to the sides and down. Add your back bend for a couple breaths here, whether you're standing or you're still in your chair. Arms are behind. Roll the shoulders up and back. Gently add your back bend. Imagine there's a string at the center of your chest that's drawing you up towards the sky. Keep pressing down through your feet. One more breath. And exhale back to center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit down. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, so we're getting warmed up here. Let's come into our warrior two pose here. So warrior two, we'll start by opening up that left leg out to the side. So you're still at the top edge of your chair. We'll extend that right leg back behind us. So the right leg is straight. Now, in our warrior two, we just want basically the left sit bone to be on the chair. This will really help us kind of reinforce more of the component parts in the bottom. We don't have to worry as much about holding ourselves up here. But the left leg and the left toes and left knee is facing the left side of your room, with that left knee directly on top of that left heel, behind those center toes. Right leg is back behind you. Try to have the entire right foot on the mat with the right toe slightly in front. Keep pressing back through that right heel, press down through the left heel. Now extend both arms out and square your chest and your shoulders to the front of your room. Palms down, turn your neck to look over those left fingertips. So now even though you're supported on the chair, just keep reinforcing. You want to try and roll this outer thigh in and under, pressing this right leg back, trying to lift this right kneecap up towards your hips. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale and exhale. Now reverse your warrior. Release your right arm down. And inhale as that left arm comes up to the sky, left palm up, face is behind you. Maybe you turn up to look at those left fingertips. Stay for one more breath. And exhale, release back down into your warrior two. Side angle, shift forward, release that left arm to the inside edge. Right arm comes down, forward, and overhead. Right palm faces to the left side. Keep rolling that tricep, roll that pinky side edge of that arm forward. You can maybe gaze up to look at those right fingertips. Keep pressing back through the outer edge of that right foot to plant that foot on the mat. Let's stay for two more breaths here. Try to really open up those shoulders. Press down through that left heel. Last breath here. Now inhale back up to center. Exhale, release the hands back to your hips. And release both feet into the center just for a moment here. Let's just shake them out a little bit. All right, let's move to the other side. So now we'll open this right leg out to the right side so that the knee and the toes face the right side of your room. And we'll extend that left leg back behind us. Again, just take a moment getting set up here. You want just your right sit bone sitting on the chair here. Keep your right knee on top of that right ankle and press back through that left leg. If you have a slight bend in your knee, that's fine. It's a little bit awkward on the chair. Now keep pressing down through that right heel. Press back through that left edge. And square your shoulders to the front as you extend your arms out, palms face down. Take a moment here to settle in. You're softening both shoulders away from your ears, but you're still lengthening your torso, creating length in your spine here. You can turn your neck to look over those right fingertips. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2 pose. Stay for one more breath. Okay, let's reverse. Release the left arm down. Right palm spins up. Raise that right arm to the sky. You're now leaning over the left leg. Keep working that tricep, rounding it back so that the right palm faces behind you. Maybe you turn your neck to look up at those fingertips. Keep pressing down through the right heel, pressing back through that left outer edge of the foot. One more breath here. And exhale, raise back up into your warrior two. Keep your shoulders squared. Shift the torso forward. Release the right arm to the inside edge. Left arm comes down, forward and up overhead. Again, wrapping that tricep forward, pinky side edge of that arm as well, so that the palm faces to the right side of your room. Right arm is gently resting on the inside edge of that right thigh. Again, maybe you turn your gaze to look up at those fingertips. Stay for a couple more breaths. Keep pressing down through that right heel, pressing back to the outer edge of that left foot. One more breath here. And exhale, release back up into your warrior two. Hands down to the hips and gently release your legs back to the front. All right. So stay forward towards the front edge of your chair. Let's open both legs out wide. Heels in, toes out, modified goddess pose here. So keep your knees on top of your heels. Press your toes into the mat and lift your heels up off the mat. Extend the arms out to the side, palms face forward. Bend the elbows into your field goal pose. This is our modified goddess pose here. Keep opening these hips out. It's easy to let the knees fall in, so keep gently opening them out. You'll really start to feel this fire up the legs here. Keep drawing the backs of the shoulder blades together, the top of your back, the palms facing forward. Stay for one more breath here. And exhale, gently release the heels down. Release the arms down to the side. Keep your legs wide. And place your arms to the inside edge of your thighs. We'll add a twist here. So start by twisting to the right. You'll release your left hand down a little bit further. Right hand comes on top of the right thigh. Drop your left shoulder, and then you look over that right shoulder. This is where my low back always seems to crack. Try to have gentle pressure with that left hand pressing either on the calf or the thigh to help you twist from that navel up. One more breath here. And exhale, come back to center, raise yourself back up. We'll switch to the other side. You release this right arm down, so the right arm stays straight. Left arm on that left thigh, and begin to twist to the left this time. Adding some gentle pressure with that right palm on that right leg. Left elbow's bent, and you're turning from the navel up, looking over that left shoulder. And stay for one more breath here. Exhale, gently come back to center. All right, so I'm going to turn the chair now. You don't need to turn the chair, but this just helps to, I think, show just with this direction so you can see more about what I'm doing. So on the chair, I'm now facing the front of the chair so I can see the back of it. We'll come into a downward dog variation. So start with your toes right at the front of your chair and grab the outer edges of your chair here. So underneath, just as we did our when we were leaning side to side, we hug underneath. Now, starting from here, you're gently going to walk yourself back. Let your head start to hang heavy, and try to keep your, start with your hips over your heels, and then walk your legs back until your head starts to gently fall down. We're coming into a modified downward facing dog. So your feet are staying hips width distance. Try to keep your heels on the mat. A lot of us in our down dogs, the heels may not normally touch the mat. I know mine don't. So this kind of feels good to keep our heels down, heels behind those center toes. And you're still letting your head hang heavy. And you're pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Keep spinning the inner thighs in and back. And just walk back to your capacity. Once you settle in here, we'll be here for a couple moments. This is just a modified down dog. It's a little more accessible, but you still really feel it in those shoulders opening up. Even though you're wrapping your hands underneath the chair, you're still firming those triceps in. Just as we were rotating our arms when they were overhead in our side angle. Just stay for a couple more deep breaths in your modified down dog here. Should mention you can have your knees slightly bent if your hamstrings are still a little bit tight here. I'm going to keep just a nice long neutral spine. Just one more breath. And exhale, you'll gently shift forward and you'll lower your knees to the ground. So use the chair to help you lower yourself to the ground. We'll now come into a modified puppy pose. So release both elbows to the chair. And make sure you're nice and sturdy here. You don't want to put too much pressure where the chair is going to like fall back on you. So make sure you're still sturdy here. With your elbows shoulder height or to the edge of your chair, you'll bring your fingertips together, clasp them together, and then you'll gently start to walk your knees back, just like we did in our down dog. We'll walk the knees back to our capacity. Again, you can either let your head dangle between your arms, or you can rest on the chair with the forehead, and then you can bend the elbows so that your thumbs rest on the back of your neck here. Because again, a nice shoulder opener. Try to keep the hips on top of the knees. As far back as you walk back, hips should be still on top of the knees, at least relatively. We'll stay here for 2 or 3 more breaths. Reconnecting, maybe you try to, again, extend your exhales twice as long as your inhales, just like we started class. Or you just let your breathing be as it is. Just one more breath. And exhale, be gentle, release your hands forward as you walk yourself back up. And use your hands to help yourself sit back up. Okay, I'm going to show you something else from this side, this way of the chair, so I'm going to keep it here for now. But you'll come to sit back on your chair. Now come to the front edge of your chair and release your arms behind you. So just like we added our back bend before, but we're going to walk our legs out a little bit farther. So keep your legs hips width distance. Start walking your legs out so your legs are relatively straight. And then once you have that, you'll release and lift your knees up on top of your heels. So you're now only supported on your chair by your arms. Once you're here, you can lift your chest up to the sky, just like we did before, this modified Purvottanasana. You can imagine a string at your chest lifting yourself up. Open those shoulders up and back. Draw on those collarbones. Keep pressing down through the feet and spin those inner thighs in and down to keep those knees hips width distance. We'll stay for one more breath. And exhale, gently release yourself back on your chair. Yeah, really nice shoulder opener there. Okay, I'll turn the chair back this way. We'll add on to our sun salutations that we were working on before. Add in our high lunge. So this time bring your big toes to touch, the heels slightly separated. We'll come into our chair pose now. So again, knees, big toes touching. Arms down to the sides, palms face forward. Yes, chair pose in our chair. So we'll inhale as we lift the arms forward, palms face each other. Just let your torso start to fall forward. Make sure you can gaze down and see your toes. You still want to keep a nice long neutral spine here. So avoid rounding or arching too much. Nice long spine. Pressing your tailbone back. Maybe you can lift your toes up as you start to shift some of the weight into your heels. And you can stay here on your chair, or if you'd like to shift a little bit farther forward, you can come up off your chair now. Just make sure you can still look down and see your toes. If you can't, just shift those hips back a little bit further. And keep wrapping the pinky side edge of those arms towards each other. Creates that external rotation in the shoulders. Stay for one more breath here. And exhale, gently release. Either still on your chair or off. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead, either standing or on your chair. Exhale, hands down to the sides. Add your back bend, standing or sitting. Arms behind you, roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale as you lift the chest up toward the sky. Maybe you gently let your head start to fall back. Keep drawing the elbows in towards each other, wherever you are. One more breath. And exhale as you come back to center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, add your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit back on your chair. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Now reopen that left leg to the left side, but turn your chest and your hips all the way to that left side as well. So everything's facing that left side. Have your block ready in case you use it. And we'll extend that right leg back behind us. We'll come into our high lunge variation here. So if you'd like to place a block underneath your knee, you can do that. And again, just this left sit bone is being supported by the front edge of your chair. But everything is facing the left side. So knees, feet, shoulders, and hips all facing that one way. Keep gently pressing down through that left heel, and we'll add our arms. So inhale the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Then exhale, release the arms to the side as you bend your elbows. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, bend. Adding our Garudasana arms, just like we did at the beginning of practice. So extend both arms out, shoulder height, palms face forward. Exhale as you wrap the left arm below, right arm on top. First option, hug yourself. Option 2, bend at the elbows, backs of the hands come together. Or option 3, wrap so that the palms are together. So same thing, draw the backs of the shoulder blades in towards each other. Raise those elbows up off your chest. Drawing that tailbone down towards your heels. Maybe you add a little back bend here. We'll be here for a couple breaths. If you'd like, you can keep those right toes curled under. And to advance, you can start to straighten that right leg as you lift and maybe slightly hover off the chair. So now you're maybe not supported at all by the chair in your full high lunge with your eagle arms. Let's stay for 2 more breaths wherever you are. And on your exhale, gently lower. Release the arms down and out to the sides, and the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's turn back to center. Bring your big toes to touch, heels separate. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. You can lift up off your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, let's switch to the other side. Have your block ready. Turn your entire body, shoulders, chest, torso, knees, toes, all to the right side. Again, just your right sit bone is supported by the chair, and you'll extend that left leg back behind you. Maybe you rest your knee on that block. Keeping those left toes curled. Again, shoulders and hips are squared to the right side. Keep this right knee tracking over that right ankle, gently pressing down through that right heel. Let's add the arms. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, release into your field goal pose. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, release. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, release. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale, release. Now send both arms out, shoulder height, palms face forward. And exhale, wrap yourself, this time right arm on the bottom. Option 1, hug yourself. Option 2, backs of the hands together. Option 3, wrap a little bit further, palms towards each other. Again, draw those shoulder blades in towards each other. Draw the tailbone down toward your heels. And gently lift those elbows up off your chest. Maybe you add a slight back bend. So we're here for 3 or 4 breaths. If you want to challenge yourself, you keep those left toes curled under. Begin to straighten that left leg as you lift up off your chair. And you're gently hovering here. Keep pressing back through that left heel. Lift those elbows up maybe slightly more. Stay for 2 more breaths. Last breath here. And gently exhale down. Release the arms down, out to the side and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, turn back to center. Bring the big toes to touch. Heels separate, arms down to the sides. Let's finish with our chair pose. So inhale the arms forward, palms face each other. You're shifting your torso forward. Make sure you can still gaze down and see your toes. Again, if you want to lift up off your chair, go for it. Otherwise, stay there. We're here for 2 breaths. Keep hugging both legs in towards each other, that adduction. One more breath here. And exhale, gently release, forward fold. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Everyone sit. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right. I've got another thing to show you, so I'm going to rotate the chair again so it's easier for you to see. Now our side plank is what we can use the chair for as well. This is kind of a fun iteration of this. So we'll start the same way we did our down dog. So our fingers are wrapping underneath and our toes start at the top of the chair, hips on tops of the heels. So begin to walk your feet back again. You're basically going to your capacity where you were with your down dog. Start with your feet hips width distance. But now you want to shift forward so that your shoulders are more on top of your wrists now. Your heels will probably come off the ground. Maybe they stay. You're kind of in a modified plank pose now. Now keep hugging that navel in and up. We want a nice long spine. So we're not sagging down here. We're really still pressing ourselves into the chair and rising up. Now to come into our side angle, there's a couple different ways to release your feet. So begin by letting your left arm come to the center of the chair. So your left palm is pressing down, fingertips away in the center of the chair. Let both of your heels fall off to the left, and then raise that right arm up in the sky. So we're now in our modified side plank here. So with both heels down, both toes are facing away, and both feet are fully on the mat. Maybe you're on the side of your foot slightly. With your right arm up in the air, keep spinning your tricep forward so that the right palm faces away. Maybe look up to look at those right fingertips. Keep lifting those hips up and away from your chair. Take one more breath. And exhale, gently release back down. Bring your heels back up. Come back into your modified plank pose here. And we'll come to the other side. So now release your right hand to the middle of your chair. Release both edges of your feet to the right. Both heels fall to the right. So you're on the outer edge of your right foot, inner edge of that left foot. And then open up, stack the shoulders, left arm to the sky. Spin that left pinky side edge of the arm forward. So you're really creating that external rotation. With the shoulders stacked, try to lift the hips up a little bit higher and away. Left palm faces forward. Maybe you turn your neck to look up at those left fingertips. Keep lifting those hips up and away. Stay for 2 more breaths. Just one more breath. And exhale, gently release. Let's come into our modified down dog. So grasp opposite or underneath both chairs. Send your hips back toward your heels. Send your chest back toward your thighs. And maybe your heels come back down to the ground. Have your feet hips width distance. Let your head hang heavy here. You're still wrapping those triceps in, so you're really feeling this open up your shoulders. Just stay for one more breath. And exhale. Just begin to walk your feet in towards your chair. And lift yourself back up for a moment. Now we're going to add a modified forward fold in our pyramid pose. So this is where the chair can really help too, because in this pose, it's very difficult for a lot of people to get their hands to the ground. Sometimes they use blocks, but just by using the chair, it will help to reinforce some of the actions that we're doing in our low body. So begin with your hands on either sides of the chair again, with the toes just at the top of the chair to start. So keep your left foot forward and step your right leg back. So just to your capacity. And now we'll add a 45-degree angle. So your right toes are facing out and your left toes face in. I'm sorry, your right toes face out, your right heel faces in. So your left toes are still facing forward here. We're looking for heel to heel alignment here. So your left heel, if you were to draw a line down, it would intersect with that right heel. So this is setting up our pyramid pose here. Now, your shoulders and your hips are squared front towards that chair. So they're not off to the side, they're squared front. So in order to do that, try to draw this left hip back and this right hip forward. You'll definitely start to feel that in your legs. Now, if you're one that hyperextends your legs, just have a slight bend in your front knee. Now, from here, keep sending those hips back, drawing that right thigh forward. You can gently start to lower a little bit closer to the chair here. Maybe you come down to your forearms, or maybe you even start to hover. So you can keep your hands here. If you want to release your hands behind you, just make sure you're ready. Keep pressing down through the big toe of that left foot and release the left arms behind you. I'm sorry, release the arms behind you. Clasp your fingertips together. Raise your arms up off your back. Keep sending your heart forward, letting your chest fall. Again, spin that left thigh back as the right thigh spins forward. Pressing back to the outer edge of that right foot to keep you stable. One last breath here. If your arms are clasped, release them back down to the chair. Gently start to lift yourself back up. And release your right leg back up. Come back into your modified down dog. Allow us to transition to the other side. Feet or hips with distance. Gently pressing the heels down and away. Let the head hang heavy. And your down dog. All right, let's walk your feet back in. We'll set up pyramid pose for the other side. So again, start with both hands wrapped underneath that chair. Keep the right toes and right foot forward, facing forward, and drop that left leg behind you. But now the left heel is in and the left toes are facing away, about a 45-degree angle. Keep this right heel aligned with that left heel. So if we were to draw a line from the right heel down, it should intersect with that left heel. So right toes face forward, left toes face out, 45 degrees. Hips and shoulders are squared forward towards your chair. To do that, try to draw this right hip back and draw the left hip forward. Keep pressing down through that right big toe. Create a nice long spine here. You'll definitely start to feel this in your legs. And now if you'd like to lower, you can gently start to fold forward. If you're good here on your chair, just stay up. Otherwise, you can gently start to fold forward. Again, avoid your right hip coming off to the side. Keep drawing it back, keeping it in line. Imagine yourself trying to be as as thin as possible. Like if two sides were squishing you together, you'd be right in between. Now, if you want to add your arms, be mindful if you hyperextend in that right knee, give it a slight bend. Press down through that right big toe and release both arms behind you. Clasp opposite thumb on top this time. Extend the arms back and lift the hands up off your low back. Keep sending the heart forward as you let the chest drop. That'll keep you from rounding your back. We'll stay for 2 more breaths in whatever version of pyramid pose you're in. And just gently exhale, release the arms if they're clasped. And gently lift yourself back up. Draw that left leg back in to meet the right. We'll add our down dog one last time here. Walk your feet back. Let your head hang heavy in between your arms. Keep the nice long spine. Avoid rounding by sending your chest back to your thighs. Stay for one more breath here. And exhale. And begin to walk your feet back into your chair. We'll add one more little sun salutation and extra stretch to loosen us out. I'll turn this back here. Have your feet nice and hips width distance. Have yourself rooted. Let's inhale the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Stay in your forward fold here. Again, if you want to come up off your chair, you can. Otherwise, stay seated. Take your peace fingers, bring your fingers together, and wrap them underneath your big toes. I'm not sure if you can see this, but wrap them in between and underneath your big toes so that your peace fingers are underneath. So that when you press down through your big toes, you can gently start to lift the fingers up to create that engagement in your arms and your legs. You're still letting your shoulders and your head hang heavy, whether you're standing or sitting in this pose. Keep trying to spin the inner thighs in and back to keep those knees directly over those ankles. Your elbows can flare out to the side, that's fine. Stay for one more breath. And exhale, gently release. Press your feet into the mat. Just gently start to roll up back to seated. Okay, one last little hip opener here. Bring your right knee up to your chest. Open that right thigh out to the side and release the top, or I should say the outer edge of that right ankle on your top left thigh. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. Keep your right foot flexed just so that keeps that alignment there. If you want to go a little bit further, bring your hands into the center of your chest. We'll add a forward fold. So inhale as you lengthen, and exhale, gently start to forward fold. You can go a little bit further by gently releasing your hands down your sternum, and you can fold a little bit forward. Just avoid any pain in the knee, and again, keeping that right foot flexed and that left knee over that left ankle. If you want to add a twist by going a little bit further here, we'll inhale as we lift back up. Exhale, twist from the navel up. Release that right elbow to the top, or I should say to the bottom of that right foot. And twist from the navel up, bringing your thumbs back in towards your sternum. Whichever version of your fold here, or if you're just staying up, just take some nice deep breaths here. Allow that right hip to open. See if you can breathe into those spaces that feel tight. Send your breath there. And just stay for one more breath wherever you are. And exhale, lift yourself back up. Gently release that right leg down. And we'll switch to the other side. So start with your feet hips width distance. This time draw your left knee up toward your chest. Open that left knee out to the side, and the outer edge of that left ankle rests on top of the right thigh. So you're in your figure four here. Keep this left foot flexed. You can stay here if this is enough for you. Otherwise, bring your hands into the center of your chest. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you gently start to fold forward. And keeping that left foot flexed, and avoid any pain in the knee. Just back off if you feel a little bit too much. If you'd like to extend this, you inhale as you lift back up. Adding your twist, turn from the navel up to your right. Bring that left elbow to the bottom of that left foot, and bring those thumbs back towards the center of your chest. Press the hands in towards each other as you spin. Inhale as you lengthen, and exhale as you twist. Again, wherever you are, just take a quick body scan and notice what's tight. Maybe try to breathe into those areas to loosen up. We'll stay for a couple more breaths wherever you are. Just one more deep breath. And exhale. Gently lift yourself back up. Release that left leg down. We'll come into our Shavasana to complete our practice. Two options for Shavasana. If you want to complete it seated, just move to the back edge of your chair. Let your back rest on that back of the chair and bring your palms on top of your thighs. You can stay here if you'd like. If you want the other option, you'll come to the ground with your legs elevated. So you'll bring the backs of your calves on top of your chair. Scoot in so that your knees are on tops of your hips. And gently rest your back and the back of your head on the mat or on the ground. Release your arms down to the sides, palms face up. A lot of times when we're in our Shavasana and our knees or feet are elevated at all, it allows more of the spine to come in contact with the ground. So this may feel a little bit different, may feel a little better from your typical Shavasana on your back. But whichever version you're on the floor or seated in your chair, you can allow your eyes to gently soften or your gaze to close completely. Let's let this be a time to settle in. Release any judgments over your practice. Release any tensions you may have in little parts of your body. Maybe your toes or your jaw or your brow line can just soften a little bit. And release any control over your breath. Just be here. And just begin to bring some awareness back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And rotate your wrists and your ankles. Switch directions in those rotations. And come back to stillness for one last breath here. If you're seated in your chair, you can stay there. If you're on the ground, just gently let your knees fall off to the side and roll onto one side of your body. Just stay for a breath here on your side. And then use your top arm to press yourself up. You can either complete your practice on the ground in a cross-legged seat, or if you want to come back up to your chair, we'll finish practice here. So everyone either rest your hands on top of your thighs, palms can face up, or bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together and exhale. Thank you for joining me in practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. All right. Thank you again so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun trying something a little bit new this week with the chair yoga. So I really appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to teach that to you. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. And, just keep this in mind. This is really nice for me on days where I just don't want to get up and do a full 60-minute sequence on my mat. If I'm sitting in my chair, now have a lot of options to just twist yourself, move yourself, just open your shoulders, open your chest a little bit, and maybe that alleviates a little bit of stress you may have in the day. So just keep this in your toolbox as just another option that works for you. Again, just want to thank you all. If you have any questions, you can always leave that in the chat or leave that in the comments on the video. Also, my contact info is in the description as well. And if you'd like to donate your time, energy, resources, or if you're interested in learning more about racial and social justice, that link is in the video description as well. So I really hope you all have had a wonderful week. Happy Friday to everyone. My next class will be Monday at 7. Studios are starting to open up. A couple studios I've been involved with, we're starting to have talks about how we can safely open up. So stay tuned for more info on that. If the live stream schedule ever changes, I'll post on YouTube. And if you follow my Instagram, I will post updates there. Or you can just email me and I can keep you up to date that way as well. So again, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you coming to practice. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, my name is Daniel with Daniel Lee Yoga. Peace.